Good evening, everyone. First of all, I would like to thank Elevate Xchange for this amazing platform that allows us to truly collaborate, and have an open discussion on many different topics. I'm excited about today's topic and really looking forward to the session. My name is Amit Gandre. I lead Inspira's America's cybersecurity business. Inspira is a global cybersecurity company. We have been in the business of providing cybersecurity consulting services for about 12 years now, with operations in India, in Middle East, Saudi, Dubai, Philippines, Manila, Singapore, and then in US. We are headquartered in Westlake, our US offices. We've been, when you talk about cybersecurity, obviously there are a number of different things that come into play. And we offer services right from advisory, meaning assessments, consulting services around that, strategy roadmap, through transformation, and also to operations. We have a rich set of industry services that we provide. We also have alignment to a number of different industry sectors. So it's not just about, can I just go ahead and provide cybersecurity consulting services, but how are they meaningful how are they meaningful to the sector, right? So it's important to connect the dots between technology and also the business imperatives, right? So our focus has always been that, and we'll continue to do that. We are also going to be launching our new Cyber Fusion Center in Dallas. It's going to be in Westlake. That is coming up in June of this year, in about 2 months. Excited about that launch. Definitely reach out to me and Tim here, who is one of our healthcare and life sciences leaders, and we can happy to share more information on what that launch is all about. But really looking forward to today's discussion, connecting with all of you, and connecting with all of you, and hopefully we can continue the conversation. All right, thank you.
I don't know that I really need this microphone because I got a big mouth anyway, but I'm pretty sure that the videographer needs the microphone. So, my name is Al Wissinger, Managing Director with Fluency Security. Listen, the bottom line is, we all get this defense in depth, right? We all have got multiple layers of protection. We think our firewalls are solid. We think all this kind of stuff. But we are a SIM tool, and as the catcher's mitt, if you will, we are seeing all kinds of new things coming in. In fact, we just watched recently some new malware coming in and just tearing up Falcon. You think Falcon's a panacea? Nothing's a panacea in this business. At the end of the day, you have to make sure that you have visibility. It's all about that visibility. And the one key differentiator about visibility with Fluency is that we watch. We don't search. Think about that. If you're a Ring doorbell, you want to get notified when there's movement at that camera. The same thing applies for Fluency. We watch. We don't pump it to a database first and then go search and say, hey, did something happen? Was somebody here? No, we watch. We do a lot of things technologically different from many companies that give us an advantage in the marketplace. It is worth your while to take a moment, talk to me, get an interview, get a briefing, get a demo, because there's always room to remove blind spots in the business. Now, with that, I'm going to show you this little gadget. I know I got time still, but this little gadget here, you're going to pull it apart and go, oh, it's a calligraphy pen. No. You might even pull this part and say, oh, it's a little duster. No. If you ask the younger generation, they're going to tell you this is for your AirPods, to clean your AirPods. So we've got a bunch of these up front here, so help yourselves to them when you mosey around later on or leaving. Now, don't be surprised what you find in that when I pull it out, right? But anyway, listen, have a great evening and productive conversation.
Arctic Wolf is next. Arctic Wolf is next, and then Arm is here after Arctic Wolf.
Hi, nice to meet everybody here. Arctic Wolf, been here a couple years, and I enjoy speaking to folks because we don't own a product. We don't sell you a box. We don't have any of that, and that's actually exciting because we can actually just sell our security operations. So we are a SOC as a service. That's why you see SOCs at a lot of our events. But we have six SOCs in the globe. We are a global company. And the reason why I think it's important for you to come away from this conversation about what we do and what we don't do is we work with all your other investments that you've already made. So we don't care what your EDR is. We don't care what your firewalls are. We partner with all of them. We take all of your telemetry and put it in our platform. So a lot of times people eliminate themselves because they think they already have a technology investment and you wouldn't be able to work with us. That's not how we do things. So we'd love to chat with you guys anytime tonight or in the future. But we are an 11-year-old company, have 3,500 customers. We do instant response, do a lot of different things, and there's no way I can cover it in 4.5 minutes. But we're growing, we're IPOing this year, hopefully, if the economy helps us out a little bit. And that means we're healthy, and I think that your companies want to do business with people that are healthy and that are putting money back into their product and their solutions. So first time here, nice to meet everybody. It's a great group, and looking forward. If you have any questions, please grab me and talk.
Hey, good evening, everyone. My name's Andrew Forgy. I'm with Armis. We're a 5-year-old company. I've been there for 3 years. And why is Armis around? So 5 years ago, we set out to solve for one of the holy grails of cybersecurity. And what is that? It's at the start of every framework. And it's to be able to provide a complete, unified, authoritative inventory of everything. We say complete because when we say everything, we literally mean everything. Everything from a physical perspective, whether that's IT, OT, IoT, IOMT, to everything that's in your data center. All of your applications, all of your services, all of the dependencies and connections, to even the things that you have in the cloud. All of your workloads, everything that's in your mobile workforce. We say unified because you already know about some of these assets today, and you have different technologies, and we want to be able to bring all of that information in with this inventory as well, so we can have a unified view. And we say authoritative because there's some of these tools that don't know about devices like IoT and OT, and imagine what you can do with that. If you have problems with your CMDB, if there's gaps, if there's duplications, if it's not a reliable source, if it's not there to be trusted, we help govern the CMDB. And it's bi-directional as well, right? If we're doing stuff and we're going to help the security team automate the response, then it's important for them to know and understand what's the criticality of that asset. Who owns that asset? Who do I need to reach out to? How can I improve my response to those type of things? Everything from governance, risk, and compliance. I've helped customers with mergers and acquisitions. I've helped customers that were spending 5 and 6 figures per factory every single year, millions of dollars, to be able to help keep that under control from doing manual inventory. So again, I'm not sure what the use cases are, but a lot of times if you don't feel confident about what's connected to my network, what are the risks that are involved for that, it's a good reason to have the conversation with us. 2 things I'll kind of end with. Fast Company, if everybody's heard of them, every year they release the most innovative companies that you can go out there and look at. In security, there's 100 different companies where you're ranked number 1. Out of all companies, and I mean, you've got McDonald's and Disney and all kinds of companies, we're number 14 out of 540. So everything that we do, it's completely passive. We're not installing any agents. And again, we're going to leverage the things that you're already doing today. And from a business standpoint, have this conversation. We should be talking to you about how can we help you avoid cost? How can we reduce risk? And how can we help you improve the efficiencies of your existing people, process, and technology? So with that, I thank everybody for their time. And we will be around. You've got myself, you've got Mark. We're the 2 account executives out here. And then we've got our Chief Revenue Officer, Alex Mosier, that's local as well, that's here. So thank you, guys.
Hey everybody, great to be here as always. Mike McMullen with Stellar Cyber, and I'm happy to introduce Mike Saylor, Black Swan Cybersecurity CEO.
Thanks. Next up is another Mike. Now, one of the reasons that Mike asked me to come and speak with you is really a use case, so our case study. So Black Swan's a full lifecycle cyber company, SOC as a service, incident response, forensics, all this good stuff, and I lead our incident response practice. And one of the things that's important about incident response is visibility. So client has a problem, maybe you have an idea what the problem is, but where is the problem? How do we address it both tactically and strategically? And Stellar Cyber is one of the tools in our toolbox for a couple of reasons. One, not only is it a SIM platform, it has UEBA that can develop a baseline pretty quickly, which is important in a response situation. But most importantly to us is how fast it was deployable. There are a lot of other platforms out there and tools out there that you can cobble together. You've got different SMEs that put in an EDR solution. You've got SMEs that put in an appliance and let it listen and collect data for a period of time. But then you've got to consolidate all that, and you've got to figure out how all that paints a picture so that you can then strategize and task people with your response activities. In a recent breach, it was actually a ransomware an attack symptomatic of ransomware. A client was notified by 2 different ISACs, both the multi-state and Texas, that ransomware was present in their environment. And the recommendation from the ISACs was that they should shut their network down. Disconnect it from the internet and turn your stuff off. Go home, update your resume. Whatever the case was. And obviously they didn't want to do that. Not a client of ours called us out of the blue and said, I need help because I don't want to find a new job. And so that was at noon. We told him our plan. A couple hours later, he had approval to engage us. So we had a call with the client and our team at 4 o'clock. And by 6 o'clock, we had Stellar completely deployed in their environment, collecting data, developing that baseline. And by 10 o'clock, we knew where the infection was, where it was trying to communicate, how it was trying to spread, and we mitigated the actual infection, the deployment of the ransomware payload and the encryption, same day within 10 hours of the first phone call. So not only do we utilize Stellar as one of the tools in our Fusion Center as far as SOC as a service, but it is our primary tool when we respond to client incidents that involve a fairly vague scope and not knowing where the problem lies, but needing to get a handle very quickly on what the problem is and where it's occurring.
Hi, good afternoon, everyone. My name is Dane Ryan with Recorded Future. I'm a Plano resident. This is my first time to Elevate Xchange, so thank you for having me today. Briefing on Recorded Future, I think the name in itself kind of describes what the product is. We're an intelligence platform. We're recording every aspect of the internet. So as threat actors are building infrastructure to target your industries, they leave an evidence trail. The beauty of this intelligence product is that it's all nicely correlated and aggregated, and I think the value add that I see from our customers is reducing your time on research for any IP address, URL, hash. If you think about all the things that you're trying to have threat actor attribution to, these are things that we build in these nice little live intelligence cards. I think the really key important factor of this is data without context of risk is just data. Data with context can be actionable. And what I'm seeing my clients really do in just a couple of use cases of stories that I've seen success factors with. In the SIM, I've got clients that are leveraging our product to do IOC enrichment in the SIM. So your alert fatigue is gone. I think the idea of getting to the prioritization is very critical. I think the other side of this is we move towards automation. You need context. You need to understand why am I making the decisions that I'm doing. So the risk factors that we bring into the automation side builds out use cases where I have customers who are doing 300,000 IOC enrichment on a weekly average. They're doing sandbox malware detonation nearly of 3,000 on a quarterly basis. If you just think about some of these areas of challenges that you're presented with, just think about the time that people are spending that you could have back to focus on the priorities. I think the other side of this too is, I got to one-up the Artemis, where you at? There you are. Look it up. Ukraine government uses Recorded Future in cyber war defense against Russia. We had a military general actually call us out as one of the American companies that's helping aid Ukraine. It's good enough for most all the nation states protecting the war on like kind of the physical and cyber front of things. There's definitely a correlation in these areas. But if you think about just your war front, it's your brand. How does that being impaired? How are people phishing your domains? How can we take these things down? But take it one step further. It's the SOC, it's the SIM, it's all these different areas that we need enrichment to make our lives easier. And I think if you just generally think about Recorded Future and go back to Log4j, threat actors were talking about this. They were actually teaching one another how to use tips and tricks. And if you think about just TTPs and generals, right? Yes, they are literally training one another. I found this vulnerability in this system. I found this WAF evasion technique, and they're training one another. Recorded Future is quite literally the cache data to all this. Instead of being I don't know, a dark web type of expert, you can kind of just drive by with our product and actually see these things in real context. We are offering right now a free identity trial for those that aren't familiar with our identity intelligence component of our product. Think of this as account takeover prevention for your workforce, but more importantly, I'm seeing a lot of customer fraud on unauthorized websites. So if anybody's interested in kind of protecting their brand, protecting their identity, we are offering some free trials of the product to do these things and at least give you the exposure context to what is occurring. I heard the malware story. Vidar is nasty right now. If you don't believe it's happening everywhere right now. The malware infostealer side of this house right now, clear text passwords that are being passed around right now. It's clearly evident this is kind of the new war front right now. So I would challenge anybody here who's interested in kind of learning more about the risk context of Recorded Future and how it can help aid you. Look at our brand intelligence and our identity intelligence as a free trial. Just get some exposure and understanding what's going on. I would leave you with that, but thank you. Nice to meet everyone.
Okay, thank you to our 6 sponsors. And